Welcome to the Coffee with Cheryl podcast, the podcast for women over 50 who want to live their best life right now. Imagine having the courage to reinvent your life financially, professionally, personally, and spiritually. Join Cheryl and guests as they share practical tips and resources to inspire you to achieve the lifestyle of your dreams. So grab your favorite mug. It's time for Coffee with Cheryl.
Welcome to the Coffee with Cheryl podcast, a podcast for women over 50 who want to live their best life right now. I am your host, Cheryl Garrison, and I am a speaker, a publisher, an author, a coach. I am a resource for everything dealing with women over 50. I am a proud woman over 50, well over 50, and started this business in my 50s, and I've been happily serving women for around 17 years now, and I am so proud to do that. This is our season 3, and this is our second podcast in our series on living your life or thriving in your life after coming through a storm. And if you listen to our podcast from last month, you did learn all about what's been going on in my life since January, but I'd like for you to go back. If you haven't listened to that podcast, go listen and catch up with us. So, this whole season is going to be about thriving after the storms come in our life. And as women over 50, we know that the storms come all the time. So, we want to be able to give you resources and give you a place to discuss the things that are going on in your life and to help you thrive. This is our episode on living your best life thriving. And this next podcast in July, you will be meeting a lady who is thriving in the midst of having coming out of caring for both parents suffering through Alzheimer's and dementia, raising a teenage daughter, working full time, running a business, and thriving in the midst of many storms. And you will meet her next month. And so I hope you will tune in to the July podcast as well. So I hope you have your coffee. I'm certainly enjoying mine on this wonderful Monday morning in Phoenix. It's been a little rainy, and we're thanking God for the rain because we don't get much of it. But we are excited about this new month, June, halftime. I call it halftime because the rest of the year can be the best of the year for you if you make it that way, no matter what the storms. I can tell you, you can come through a storm, coming from me, coming through breast cancer in both breasts, having double mastectomy and surgery, surviving that and coming out cancer free and ready to thrive in my life and in my business the remainder of 2025 and on into the rest and the best of my life. As usual, we'll start with a quote. And our quote for today is one by, of course, someone we all love and respect, Maya Angelou. It's my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. And that's what we are all about, thriving no matter what's going on, but coming out of it with passion, compassion, humor, because life is pretty funny. And of course, we want to maintain our style into our 50 somethings. So let's talk today a little bit about the benefits of thriving. Because if you're going through a storm and you're just sitting in the storm and you have no plans on, you may want to survive it, but you have no plans on what to do now that the devastation has torn down your house, ripped up your yard or done whatever. These are whole community. And now you have to thrive through that. And some of us just sort of survive and then just sort of sit in the midst of it. So the benefits of thriving is to, first of all, break free from being stuck after the storm, to reinvent whatever is around us, our lives as 50 something women, reinventing our lives, embracing the new opportunities. If your house has been just totally devastated, and some of us just decide we're just going to move to another city. Well, it's the same in our life. If it's the devastation is around us, maybe we need a new opportunity, something different, something else to look forward to. And then lastly, uh, to ultimately just survive and come out of the storm. And um, I want to discuss a little bit about the keys to thriving. We know the benefits of thriving are to get unstuck and do some new things. The keys to thriving, how do we do it, is first we have to have the right mindset. Secondly, we need to focus on what we can control because there are things out of our control. None of us can control when we have a health issue. We can't just control that on our own in most cases. So the things that we can control, like changing diets, going to the doctor, following the medical, those things we can control, but we cannot control what happens when we do all that stuff. That's in God's hands. And if you're a believer, you know that if you trust in Him, He will give you those desires of your heart. So he is the controller, but don't get focused on things that you can't control. Thirdly, it's goal setting, making goals, not just saying, okay, here I am, and now somebody do something. You have to do something. Not giving up, not ever giving up, no matter what. Don't give up. I can tell you the last 6 years of my life have been just one thing after another. And I know some of you have done it too, but I'm not giving up. There are days I just want to say, forget this. I'm done. This is enough. I'll just go and uh, just say, forget it. But just not giving up. The course may change. What becomes your focus may change. What becomes your passion, your purpose may change, but don't give up. And then lastly, be grateful. Gratitude. If we're grateful for things, if we have gratitude in our life, there is nothing that we cannot thrive through because gratitude is at the core of everything. If you're grateful for the little things and grateful for the big things, then your life is totally complete. And I know I like to I love when I'm like in a journal, especially one that focuses on gratitude. And so think about that as you are thriving, that one of the most important steps or keys is gratitude. Today I want to concentrate on the first benefit, mindset, specifically affirmations, helping you to think differently, reprogram the way you think so that you come through a storm, you thrive through the storm with things that are positive. And then to do what some of us don't believe can happen, but it's so true. If you've seen The Secret and all those, some of that there it's true. The way you think is the way you become. We're talking a lot also about becoming the woman you were meant to be in 2025. A lot of that is about affirming and having the mindset to become that woman and knowing who that woman is. So I like this scripture, Proverbs 16 and 21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. You could speak life to yourself, or you can talk yourself to death. You can put yourself in such a state that you no longer are living, no longer are thriving. And it's all in what we say, and it's all in what we think. Words matter. The words that we say out loud matter. And most importantly, the things that we don't, the things that we think matter. Those negative roommates who live for free inside of our heads matter. They tell us we're not good enough. They tell us we're not pretty. They tell us we're not smart. They tell us we're too old. They tell us that we don't have the knowledge. They tell us that there's too much technology. Forget it. AI is going to take over. There's no need for you to keep going. They tell us that the woman in the sitting next to us is better than us. They tell us if we walk into a room, people are going to look at us and wonder, who is that lady and what is she about? And I don't really like her. They tell us all of these things, those little roommates that we produce in our own heads. And there's only one way to kick them out, to eliminate them, to get rid of them, to no longer have them be the focus of your life. And that is through affirmations. That is changing the way we think and the way that we process the things that are going on around us. So today we're going to briefly talk about what are affirmations, how they reshape our mindset and our thinking, how the science behind affirmation, because there is a science and it's called conscious and subconscious thinking. And then how God's words are the ultimate affirmation because he tells us that we are shaped in his image. And if he is perfect, what are we? When people, I have a pretty good sense of humor, and there's some little sarcasm to it, little cynicism. And when I'm being that Cheryl, and people are like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I just said I was made in his image, so I assume he's a little cynical too, and we laugh about it. But it's true, we are made in his image, and so the ultimate affirmation is God. So let's talk about what affirmations are. Affirmations are those positive, intentional, remember, intentional statements that we say and think about ourselves. This is total selfishness. This is all about us. It's not about anybody else. These are the positive things that we either think or say about ourselves. And we can't think or say those positive things if we don't know how to think them, if we don't tap into the positives that we are. So if you are looking to get rid of those negative thoughts, you have to reprogram how you think. If you're constantly thinking those bad things about yourself, then I'm going to give you some tools to change that by constantly thinking about the positive things about yourself. Because we all have positive attributes. We all have some things about ourselves that are unique and that are good and that are meaningful and that can propel us to success in everything that we do. But if we don't think it, if we think totally opposite of that, then those things have a hard time coming through. I think very highly of myself for the most part. Yeah, I do have those times where I think, oh, but for the most part, I have a lot of confidence. I've been called a snob in my days, and that's not snobbery. It's just I think well of myself. I've been called, just too confident, and I don't care because confidence is the thing that propels us to having a successful life. So you have to program yourself to think it if you don't think it. They affirmations have an ability to program your mind into believing almost anything. You can believe that the sky is green through affirming it. What you see, you can affirm some of the greatest things in the world, some of the most successful people that we know. they live on affirmations. They affirm things. And because they're saying, I am this, I do this, I have this, then it comes to fruition. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you're thinking that you have nothing, you are nothing, well, there you go. That's what you get. So when you're thinking about thriving in 2025, especially these last 6 months, think about how are you going to think? What is that mind going to do? How are you going to reprogram your mind if you're struggling with that, to come and think positive, affirm things about yourself. The Bible calls it renewing your mind. And we if you go through, and I'm not going to go through it, but if you are a study, go in and just look at all the scriptures on renewal and how important it is to renew your mind, to renew your thinking. Science calls it I have to look this up, neuroplasticity. That means that there's a conscious and subconscious thinking that goes on when we are in living our lives. Just think when you're this is a good analogy a lot of people give. I love it. But just think when you leave your house to go to a familiar place, go to work. I know when I used to work, I'd get in the car and I end up there and I don't even know how I got there. Go to church, get in the car, go to church. I look up, I'm in the parking lot. Those are those subconscious things that we just know because they're so familiar. We've done them over and over. They become rote in our minds, and we just go. If you have, your car is so smart now. I get in my car because I go to certain places all the time. It assumes where I'm going. So I get in the car and it says 5 minutes to Safeway. I'm not going to Safeway today, but it's already knows this is something you do a lot. And when you're starting this car and going this direction, I'm assuming that's where you're going. Subconsciously, the car is making that decision for you. So it's the same thing in your mind. If you are doing something over and over and over, that thing becomes subconscious, and then you start making your way to it and not even really that everything you do is leading you to it, just like that subconscious drive to your job. It's so familiar and it's so a part of your thinking. It knows to go up to, for me, to Equestrian Trail, turn left, go to 48th Street, go to Warner Loop, turn left, down to 48th Street, turn right. And it just does it without me thinking about it. So what you want to do with affirmations is get to that point to where your conscious mind is no longer leading you through this thriving journey. Because if you're conscious, you're noticing the cones in the road, you're noticing that, oh, 48th Street is closed. You're aware of all the things, all the barriers. Our conscious thinking brings out all those barriers that keep us from moving forward. Now, you should be conscious in certain things and positive things that you're doing. So don't get me wrong that you're running around like a robot. But when you are trying to change your thoughts, trying to thrive through the storms that come, trying to get to that thing that you're passionate about, get to that new thing you want to do or that thing that you're doing and it's not going well, the key is to affirm it. So affirmations, um, when you recite them or read them consistently, morning and evening, for a certain number of days. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you some instructions. They become like rote, they become those subconscious thoughts. Um, they allow you to change things that you're doing. because you know subconsciously, I want to start a new, let's just say this is your thought. I want to start a new, let's start a new bakery. I want to open my own bakery. Let's say that's what you want to affirm, a cafe or something. But consciously, you're thinking, even before the thought becomes something that you thrive to do, you start thinking about, oh, I gotta have this much money, I gotta have this, I gotta do this and all. And that is part of goal setting. But the first part of this is to get this right before you start working on the details of it. So you want to start a bakery, you start affirming, I own the best cafe in Phoenix that serves the most delicious bakery goods. I get up every morning happy to go to my bakery where I help people enjoy nice cups of coffee and delicious donuts or muffins or cakes. I am a good business owner. I know how to do the books. I am a people person. I have good customer service skills. All of these things that you affirm, I am I earn $100,000 in the first 6 months profit in my bakery. I mean, just these are just things you are affirming. And you are speaking these things to yourself over and over, morning and night. They're written down, they're not in your head because you want to be able to keep them consistent. So you write them down and you recite them. And before you know it, the goals that you have set for that bakery, you look up and there's your sign on the door. Affirmations, they help keep us motivated. They help us be able to focus on our goals. Of course, they influence our subconscious thinking. They change the way we think and they energize us to be active. When you think positively, you are more active, you are more excited, you are more passionate about the life around you. And so we're wanting to bring affirmations into our lives so that we can live that best life right now. When you think about it, by age 50, we've gone through some stuff. And then many of us have gone through so much stuff that we wonder how we're still standing. And much of that is depending upon our faith. Much of that is our resilience. Much of that is because some of us have learned how to use those affirmations. Um, and then for some of us, we've gone through that and then we've just sort of, oh, well. So for you who are, oh, well, start doing some affirmations in your life. Let those experiences go. Put them in the past. You don't need them anymore. They are not a part of you anymore. You could affirm different things and become that woman that you were meant to be. You can get unstuck. And at the end, also, I'm going to give you an opportunity to work with me and come up with your own uh, plan on living an unstuck life. It's called the Unstuck Method. And we'll talk about that. I want to read this to you. The storm may have changed your life, but it doesn't have to define your future. God never stops speaking life over you. Now it's time to speak life over yourself. Think about that. He's never stopped speaking life over you. He will always speak life over you until it's time for you to go. But think about it. It's your time to speak life over yourself. Again, I said this is selfish time. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've been taught as women that we have to do everything for everybody else. And when we do anything for ourselves, it's selfish. Well, it's time to be selfish. If you are in your 50 somethings, you have been through these storms, you have weathered these storms, and you're not ready to just be done with life. You're ready to thrive. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so for you, get some affirmations together, create that plan that moves you to that place you've always wanted to be. Those passions that you've had that you put on hold, it's time for them to go away. Last year, I published my first fiction novel in my 60 something. I've been wanting to do that since I was a teenager, but I let everything else in the world get in the way. Now, to be honest, I was building businesses and all that and raising children and everything, but that was a passion. And so when I affirmed that in 2024, I was going to publish that novel, and I affirmed it strongly and I worked toward it, it happened. So let's talk just briefly about how you create affirmations. They're written statements first. Don't think them, write them down, write them somewhere. And when I was doing them regularly, you put them on a piece of paper, you write them down, can put them on post-it notes. I had post-it notes on my computer. You can put them on your mirror. You can write them on a notepad, put them next to your bed, read them morning and night. But first, they start with truth. Don't don't write them rooted in fantasy or some kind of promise that is impossible. Don't be impossible. Well, start with truth. Use present tense. Speak them as if they've already happened. Speak them as if it already occurred. Speak them as if they're true. I earn $1 million a year. Speak them as if they're true. I earn $10,000 a year in my business. I write 4 books a year as an author. I own my own uh, consulting business that helps consult teachers. Speak them as if they have already occurred. You could be doing working direct sales on the phone right now. But if your passion is to use the skills that you know in customer service and start your own business on how to consult businesses on having more increase their sales through customer service, then affirm that I am a customer service consultant that helps businesses increase their sales by a certain percentage annually. Keep them personal. Don't share them with everybody, but also speak them as I am, I can, I will. No longer I hope to, if I have enough money. No, I am, I do, I own, I earn. Keep them personal and then align them with your goals. Because if your goal is to totally uh, revamp your, I used to if my goal was to totally revamp my 50 something business, all my affirmations to do that would be aligned with that goal. So you're going to thrive by affirming those positive, personal, I am, I do statements Example, I am strong in my mind, body, and soul. I am healthy. I eat healthy meals every day. I am working in my God-given purpose. I am the most powerful speaker about issues dealing with women over 50. Write those affirmations. Now, I told you I was going to give you a little assignment because uh, I want first, I want you to invite you to, in the next few weeks, I will be putting out a book on affirmations. And you will be getting that information on how to get that little, it's a little ebook that I'll be providing. Um, but I want you right now, today, starting today, I want you to write 7 days of affirmations, one for every day. First, what are you passionate about? What are your goals for the rest of the year? First figure that out. Then write 7 affirmations that will lead you to thriving to that point in your life. And then I want you to begin reading them morning and night. So if you have one for Monday, you read your Monday one morning and night, Tuesday morning and night. But read those consistently and do it for at least a month, 4 weeks, 4 weeks. So I'd like that's your assignment to do that. Because if you really want to thrive, we know that some of the keys to doing that, of course, is goal setting, it's being grateful, it's focusing on things that only you can control. But of course, it's mindset, and that's where we want to start as we go through this series during the remainder of this year. So I'll be adding some of these in with the guests. Next in July, we'll have a guest, and then we'll do probably talking about gratitude. Um, but we, I want you to begin to think about, okay, the storm is here. There's some more going to come, but thriving is the most important part. So we're going to talk about now you're going to thrive the rest of this year. Season 3 is about that thriving. I want to invite you, if you are interested in talking, doing a little 30-minute call to see if coaching will even help you connect with me. I'd like for you to either comment in the comments for the podcast, or I'd like you to go to 50somethinglifestyle.com, and there will be an area for you to schedule uh, a little discovery call so we can chat about what's going on and how you want to thrive in 2025. I know right now I'm so grateful to even be here, to be able to share this with you. And so if you are grateful for something today, share that with someone. And for every podcast, I want to end it with also reminding you, if you've not had a mammogram, go get one, because early detection is important. And as as a survivor, I can tell you that because my cancer was low stage, I'm here right now to speak to you. So I hope you have the best June ever. It's my birthday month. My birthday's on June 13th. I'm not going to eat well. I'm going to be that nice ripe age of 70. And I'm proud to be able to say that. So June's going to be a month of celebration. My fifth grandbaby will be coming in this month as well. My husband's birthday is in this month, so June is going to be a fun month. But I want you to thrive. I want you to start these affirmations. And in July, if you don't mind, just jotting me a progress report, you can email it to me at Cheryl at 50somethinglifestyle.com. Cheryl at 50somethinglifestyle.com. .com. Anytime you want to connect with me, you can do that, or you can go on my website, 50somethinglifestyle.com, and schedule a little 30-minute chat because I'd love to speak with you. So remember, you don't have to live your best life tomorrow, your best life 3 years from now. You can live your best life right now, today. Start today by making those 7 affirmations. And remember, as a man thinketh, so is he. So start working on your mindset and thrive in 2025. See you next month.